overview of the markets, I think it's a very positive day. You've breached the 4,000 resistance level.
Yes, okay. It's a psychological mark that we have passed, but in terms of where the market is headed, we're still not yet, don't have the momentum enough. Because if you look at the volumes traded last week, about 2.6 billion in terms of turnover. Currently this week we've done close to 900 million. So it looks like it's losing momentum. And where we really want it to pass is the exponential moving average, the 50-day moving average at 4,117 points. If we pass there, then we can say that we're headed in a good direction. But currently, we are still in the doldrums.
Right. Okay, but you know, the technical levels of the market belie the general optimism that exists about the Kenyan markets. An analysis provided by Diane Blair, for instance, released earlier today, shows that on average, constituents of the NSC 20 released very good results. Most of them saw profits after tax improve 47%, and many of them paid dividends on average about 42%. That should be something that drives investors back into the market. Will it in the second quarter of this year?
The issue to look at is, will they repeat the same performance they had last year, this year, taking into consideration inflation, drought, high energy costs, high cost of doing business, and increased political risk with all these ICC trials and an election coming. So from an investor perspective, you're trying to weigh. 2010 was a good year in terms of most companies came out of 2009, where most of them had made losses. So in essence, they've not really grown. They've more of like gotten back to maybe 2009, 2008 levels. So the issue is, are they going to be able to repeat such phenomenal growth again this year, or are we going to see reduced growth?
Right. Views on the shilling. We're seeing some pressure on the shilling today with increased dollar demand by oil importers, trading above 84 shillings. What do you make of the exchange rate?
Okay, the exchange rate is currently a mix of a number of things. The central bank is planning on pumping Kenyan shillings into the market. That means you have an oversupply of Kenyan shillings vis-a-vis the demand of the Kenyan shilling. So naturally, your Kenyan shilling will also weaken towards that action and policy action that they're going to do on the reverse repos. Yes, importers are demanding, importers are demanding dollars, so that also has an effect on it. So yeah, basically the next week or two, we might see it weaken slightly more than what it is currently today.
I mean, obviously the CBK coming back into the market by way of foreign currency sales, but we're also hearing that the CBK is reportedly selling about 18 billion Kenyan shillings in 2-year and 15-year bonds. Your views on the fixed income side?
Okay, it's definitely the yields are going to go up. This year is a very tricky year for bond traders, because each and every auction we are expecting to see higher rates, higher coupons and higher yields, effectively rendering any bond you buy before that auction to be devalued in value, actually to lose value. So you'll find people are not holding papers that long. As in, you get the paper, you quickly want to get it off your hands before the next issue is brought out. But the government policy is a bit contradictory. At one hand, they want to pump in money to reduce liquidity, the liquidity crunch in the market. At the other hand, they want to buy 18 billion out of the market. So it's a bit of confusion on the policy side.
Okay, what's going to help ease the liquidity crunch that you refer to? I mean, the CBK is back in the market. They're also talking about a reserve repo.
Yes, basically, if you look at the interbank rate, just the last few weeks of March, the interbank rate jumped by like 100%. And basically, the interbank rate shows you how liquid the banking sector, the financial sector is, because that's the rate they lend to each other overnight. And if that rate goes up, that means there is a bit of a liquidity crunch there. So people who have money are making a bit of a kill on it. So the Reserve Bank, the central bank, are trying to basically solve that issue so that the interbank rate doesn't continue going up. Yeah, basically.
Okay, let's talk about the counters to watch today. I know Jubilee, with very good results, has been a very active counter over the last few sessions. Today we've seen some declines. What's that all about?
The volumes traded on the counter were so minimal for there to be such a big impact on it, as in or news or something fundamental. It was only traded 6,600 shares, and it dropped 8%. So really, just one trade that was traded below below market. Nothing much in it.
The gainers today: Access Kenya gaining about 10% on its share price. Co-op Bank 3.4%, Express 5%.
Access Kenya traded quite a huge bunch of volumes, around 1 million shares, and 50% to 60% of that was a foreigner. Basically, like two traders basically traded on the counter. What they know, we don't know. And that's why there were only two on the counter. Cooperative Bank, still a good bank, trading it currently at a discount compared to the results they issued and the story behind the company.